Hi, I want to talk about what is difference between Japan and China. And I just wanted to write a little diagram about why you shouldn't call us Chinese and why you shouldn't call Chinese Japanese. And that's a very small thing. And there's a lot of things I can't talk about. So now I think I can almost make another series of videos, but um, I've made a little diagram. I've been having a busy week last week, and then suddenly I have time today, and then I've made a little diagram today, and then if I call this person Japan, Japan-san, and this person China-san, and this person Britain-san. Um, a lot of people say, the Japanese people, can't differentiate Iceland and Ireland and Scotland and Britain. I do because I live in England, but but I think most of Japanese know differences between Ireland and England. Most of them that we were taught what's the difference, and now we were taught, and there are four countries in Britain. But I know some English people are annoyed being in Japan, and then they are called American, and then they, although they say they're English or Scottish or Welsh or Irish, and they talk about America. That's quite annoying, and they hate it. And the same thing happens, and it's quite annoying. If I say I'm Japanese and then talk about how back in Japan, what happens in Japan, or why I do it, because I have a Japanese culture, I'm coming from Japanese culture, and then someone else talk about, yes, I heard Chinese people do this. Then I stop it. I get startled. I get I get annoyed, and I stop talking about it, and then hate that person, and don't talk about China if someone's talking about Japan. It's simple thing. And why because I'm Japanese, I know how annoying it is. Now, if you're Chinese, and they will have their own opinion why they don't want to be called Japanese. But I want to talk about Japanese person because I'm Japanese. I know how it is, because Japan and Britain is a member of NATO. NATO is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Then Japan is on the side of NATO. Japan is helping NATO a lot, and then Japan is democratic country, and Britain is democratic country, and Japan is surrounded by the sea, and Britain is surrounded by the sea. So we think Japanese people and British people are similar, and then we love English culture. And then I think that the simplistic thing is Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty's profile, when they made Hello Kitty's profile almost 40 years ago, they decided Hello Kitty was born in England and she's from Chelsea, so she must be a British. British girl. Hello Kitty is a British girl because Japanese people loved English culture, and the Japanese people loved the Beatles and the Queen. Queen was very popular before they became popular in Britain, and also lots of other bands became popular before they became popular in Britain or America. So there's a lot of things, or Burberry, or the or French, the Louis Vuitton. Japan is really good customer of them. So and then there's a lot of Facebook pages and Facebook groups about talking about English culture, and then they want a British tea and an afternoon tea, or they do afternoon tea party in Japan or Tokyo, and they love British culture. They also love Disneyland and American culture, and the Disneyland in Tokyo is incredibly making money. They're so busy. So we love Western culture and we love British culture. Then we certainly think, because Britain is kind of island, and we think Japan is Japan and other countries other countries, and we sometimes don't think about it's part of Asia. We think Asia is Asia, Japan is Japan, like Europe is Europe. I thought we think that British people think the same way, so we feel like a friendship. We feel similarity. So that's why we love Britain. We love British people. But what happens in Britain? Listen, British people. A lot of British people don't differentiate Japan and China. Some people ask me if Japan is socialist, which is really wrong. It's totally wrong. I was astonished. Wow, it's not right. China is socialist country, and I think China's is more like there is a China, Asia, and other countries. I don't know how, because I'm not Chinese, so Chinese person might think it's wrong. But China is more friendly to other countries. Japan is more isolated. That's what I want to explain. So but British people, so we love Britain, but British people sometimes, or lots of times, I wrote the same hairstyle and red hair. So so he doesn't like us because we look like we look same as him, but it is wrong. Oh yeah, they had Optim War, or they have a lot of things going on between them, but that's nothing to do with us. So that's why we don't like to be called China or Chinese. That's one thing. There's a lot of other things where I think food culture also, Japan and China is really different, almost opposite. So that things I want to talk about later. I don't know when, and see you later.